What's up, guys? Arash Rahbar here, IFBB Pro at the Bev Francis Powerhouse Gym in Syosset. Gonna train some legs for you guys. Finally, everyone's been asking me for a leg workout. Was very tied up, very busy with the Olympia, as a lot of you know, so it was hard to shoot. Just kept me really busy. So I have more time. I'm gonna be posting more videos for you guys, answering questions, putting up tips and tricks. So please subscribe, stay tuned, comment below, let me know what you guys wanna talk about, wanna hear, wanna see. So I've broken up, since after the Olympia, I've broken up my hamstrings and my quads. I never really did that before. I usually hit legs all together, hamstrings and quads, once a week, and I start my weeks earlier. But this time around, I want to focus a little bit more on my hamstrings and also my outer sweep. So I broke them up to see how it goes. So it's been 1 week that I've done it. This will be the second week, and if I like it, I'll continue. If not, I'll go back to my old style, doing it all in one day. Now we're about 3 weeks out of the Olympia, and as any of you guys that have competed know, that after a competition, when you go up in weight, even if it's 10 pounds, 5 pounds, you know, sometimes you go up in weight in a short period of time, in 2 weeks, 10 days, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of water buildup and a lot of pressure, so we get that famous lower back pump that can be really paralyzing during back days and leg days. It makes it very hard to squat and to deadlift. This past week's been pretty good. It's gotten a lot better, but a few days ago I did back and it was rough. You'll have to lay down in between sets, take longer breaks, let the blood get out of the lower back erectors, or even foam roll or something. Unfortunately, I don't have a foam roller here with me today, so hopefully I won't get it. But I'm gonna start today with hack squats. Last week I started with squats. I switch it up all the time. I really like hack. I can go fairly heavy also. And I'll walk you guys through the workout, and I'll try to explain to you why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that was my third set. I count as warm up. I'll warm up adequately, any body part really, but especially legs. And then I'll start putting on the weight. Try to jump up fairly quick rather than pyramid, because you tire yourself, weaken yourself out. But I won't jump up too high on here. I'm gonna ease into it. And as you can see, I keep my lower back flat. I don't let my heels or lower back raise up. You gotta really go with feeling and see how you feel and how you're built. You wanna try to keep the spine straight, and you don't wanna be putting any pressure or uncomfortableness on your lower spine. If you feel that, back off, regroup, start over. And I do go pretty low. I go below 90 degrees. The whole ass to grass with squats or hack squats is great. I like to go ass to grass on squats. It's actually easier for me to go ass to grass than to go 90 degrees. So a lot of times I'll force myself to stop at 90 and not go ass to grass, because I feel like it's harder and I'm putting more tension on my quads. When you go really low, you're gonna incorporate a little bit more of your hamstrings and your glutes for that initial couple inches to lift off. So if you're really just focusing on your quads, the best way to do is pay attention to foot positioning, heel elevation, and 90, a little bit below 90. Here on these, I like to go full range. I feel it a lot in my quads, and it gives me a great pump on my outer sweep. My feet are fairly close. You can go even closer than where I'm at. They're fairly close. Heels are in a little bit, toes are out a tad. I feel that when you go super wide, you're using more of your stabilizing inner thigh, outer thigh, abductor, adductor muscles, and your glutes. And they're gonna get hit with whatever I do anyways. I don't wanna focus on them. I wanna focus on my quads. So if any of you guys have aches and pains in your knees and you feel like you're going that low, hurts your knees, don't go so low. But if you do choose to go low, you don't want to go down, put all that pressure on your knee, on the tendon, ligament and tendon, and bounce back up like a rubber band. It's putting a lot of pressure there. You want to go down, pause even for if it's a quarter of a second, and come back up. So not only the muscle is going to be taking more of the load, but the pressure doesn't go on your knees. I had a slight tear in my left knee, like a little LCL tear, before the Pittsburgh Pro, like almost a year ago now. So I babied it and I started wearing wraps. I don't advise wearing wraps all the time, or any belt or any any type of aid because it can weaken you. But when I go a little bit heavier on squats, not always, but usually on this hack squat, I'll wrap up. Gives me a nice feeling of security, but not too tight. You don't want it too tight. You could pull something, you can mess up circulation, and also it'll be too much of an aid. These aren't the super thick ones, so they don't really give you that rubber band bounce back up. So guys, you know, everybody's always nitpicking and arguing and on topics of training and how rep range and sets and reps, and there's so many different routines, there's so many different approaches, you know. Heavyweight definitely will build size, strength, muscle. You know, anyone will tell you lower volume, lower reps, lower sets, heavier weight is a good way to go. But everything has its own place and time. Put that aside. Stop thinking so much about that, and just take any one routine, any one workout, and just fucking do it. Do it 100%, man. If you're doing 2 reps too little or 2 reps too many, but you're doing it at 100% and you're fucking sweating and you're grunting and you're moaning and you feel like you're gonna vomit, you're gonna grow. I don't give a shit if you're doing it, you know, not textbook, or, I mean, you don't want bad form, obviously, you wanna hurt yourself, but just fucking train. Some people are just talking and thinking too much, being too smart for your own good. You ever hear that? It can be very true. Just put your hood on and train your ass off. Make sure you're eating right and just work out. And then you have free time, you want to research and look at new routines, no problem. But sometimes I'll post a picture or a video and people nitpick, and it's like, man, you know, I'm always open to suggestions. I'm always learning. If I'm doing something wrong, no problem. But you gotta look beyond that sometimes and get to the meat of the matter, so to speak. And just dig deep. If I can't tell if you're coming or going, if I see you in the gym and I can't tell if you just got there or you're leaving, there's an issue. When I'm leaving the gym, it looks like I got hit by a truck, and that's for a reason. And you don't need to be in here for 3 hours with a lot of volume. I don't do 6 exercises. I do 3-4 exercises per muscle group, but I do them hard. Every working set is like the last one you guys just saw. So I'm already warmed up. So I wouldn't consider that warm up. I'm just getting my footing and deciding where I want to put my feet. When I put my feet real high, it felt good, but when I come all the way down, my lower back lifts up. You don't want your lower back to lift off the pad much. You can slide yourself up a little bit. If it lifts a little, it's okay, but you don't want too much. So when I brought my heels down in the mid-set, if you guys notice, I felt more of the load on my quads, and it gave me a good base pushed into my lower back, and it didn't lift as much. So that's what we're gonna do. It's a little harder. When I'm up high, I'm gonna be using more hamstrings and glutes, and it's a little easier. I don't want it to be easy. I wanna focus on my quads. So I'm bringing them pretty close together, my heels, and my toes will be out. You'll see in the view from behind on the next set. Now we'll put on some weight and start to work. I won't count that as a set. So not going super heavy here today, but doing full range, nice and slow, controlled. And it's almost like a dead stop at the bottom. Rather than using the bounce or the momentum, I'm stopping and then firing the muscles back up to the top and making sure I get a nice contraction on the way up and a nice stretch on the way down. So although this is not very heavy at all, I'm definitely feeling it in the target area, in my outer quads, my sweep, where I'm trying to improve for the next season's competition. So one thing you guys gotta pay attention to more in the gym is how you feel, how an exercise feels, your foot position, your hand position, angles. Play around with it and see what works best for you and take it from there. Where you train really matters, the people that are around you. Beth Francis Powerhouse Gym in Syosset, something in the air. Everybody here is serious as training. At any given time, you have competitors or just people that are very focused and hard into their training. You got 3-time Miss Olympia, Juliana Malacarne, doing legs to my right. And to my left, I got my man right here, deadlifting 4 plates like it's nothing. Just a warm-up. Ordinary day at Bev's. So, on to the extensions. Great exercise, just gotta keep it controlled. Keep that ass on the pad. I see a lot of guys bouncing up and down. Very, very good exercise to target the teardrop. It hits the whole quad, but it's very good for the teardrop. I don't go too wide with my feet out. I'll put them about shoulder length, toes forward, and I'll curl my toes up. When you pull your toes up towards yourself, towards the ceiling, you can be dramatically more pressure on the quads, especially closer to the knee, the teardrop. So for this exercise, I try to focus on full contraction at the top, and I want to feel that teardrop fully contract. You want that big, meaty teardrop that hangs over your knee when you're standing relaxed. It's a good look. So a lot of people walking by asking me what I'm drinking. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen me post it. I'm a big believer, especially in the off season, in intra-workout carbs. Getting carbohydrates to your muscle immediately while you're training for longer duration of intensity, for a pump, and for immediate recovery. I personally use Plasma by Biotest. The carb source is highly branched cyclic dextrin. It gets ingested very easily, doesn't bloat or upset the stomach, and doesn't take a long time to get into the bloodstream. But check out my Instagram. There's much more information on there, and there's also a few threads and posts that I've made and other people have made on Testosterone Nation going into detail about Plasma and other intra-workout carbs. So for you guys that are trying to grow, bring up lagging body parts, it's something you should definitely look into. So, for those of you sitting at home thinking, is Arash doing that inner outer thigh machine women do? Yeah, I am. For you guys that compete, the inner thigh will grow, get bigger, make your legs look a lot bigger. The outer thigh, the one next to it, can give you a lot of definition in your hamstring and glute tie-in, also make you look bigger. For those of you who don't compete, those are stabilizer muscles. It'll raise your squat up. You guys definitely want to do these full range of motion. Open all the way on this one, the inner thigh. You want to stretch as far as you can. I'm not going too far back because I think this machine's broken on one of the last latches, but you want to stretch out as far as you can and even sit in that stretch at the end of the set, because a lot of you are probably not stretching your inner thighs and very tight there. If you look at the strongest and biggest legs in bodybuilding, two guys that come to mind, Ronnie Coleman and Tom Platz, they were both extremely flexible. I mean, Ronnie at 300 pounds was doing a full split and squatting north of 800 pounds. So go figure. Strength, muscular development go hand in hand with stretching, flexibility, and agility.